Now at 4:30, one of the world's biggest online criminal marketplaces now offline after an international sting led by the FBI. More than 100 accused cyber criminals around the world are now behind bars.
And investigators say this should serve as a warning to other online hackers. KCAL's Amy Johnson takes us inside the sting called Operation Cookie Monster.
Police launched raids around the world to nab suspected cyber criminals operating on a sophisticated dark net site known as genesis.market.
For too long, criminals have stolen credentials from innocent members of the public.
Authorities say the site had 80 million sets of digital fingerprints for sale, letting fraudsters pay less than $1 to access passwords for Facebook, PayPal, Netflix, Amazon, and eBay. And that allowed them to log into bank and shopping accounts. Anyone searching the site now will know it's been seized in a crackdown dubbed Operation Cookie Monster. That references computer cookies Genesis was selling to help criminals impersonate genuine users.
We now want criminals to be afraid that we have their credentials, and they should be. And people today are getting a knock on their door very early in the morning.
Police arrested nearly 120 alleged scammers, some of them in the U.S., and investigations are continuing. To avoid becoming a victim of fraud, experts suggest taking software updates on your phones and computers and choosing strong passwords and, when possible, using two-factor authentication, a security system that sends a text message with a one-time code before you can actually log in. Amy Johnson, KCAL News.
Inside Genesis Market, the dark web's infamous hacker marketplace shut down by global law enforcement. The U.S. Department of Justice, in partnership with Europol, just announced the successful takedown of Genesis Market, a notorious hacker marketplace that sold access to infected devices and stolen account credentials. This operation involved 17 countries and resulted in 119 arrests, 208 property searches, and 97 knock-and-talk measures. Genesis Market was a platform that advertised and sold packages of account access credentials stolen from malware-infected computers. The market was designed to provide an easy and cheap way for cyber criminals to buy and sell stolen data. The cyber criminals behind Genesis Market are estimated to have made over $200 million from their illicit activities. This so-called Operation Cookie Monster seized 11 domain names pursuant to a warrant authorized by the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Wisconsin. While the public website was taken down, its onion domain was still accessible on the dark web using Tor. What's particularly concerning about Genesis Market is that it was accessible on the open web, although obscured from law enforcement behind an invitation-only veil. Its accessibility and cheap prices greatly lowered the barrier of entry for buyers, making it a popular resource among hackers. Genesis Market reportedly had about 59,000 registered users, and since its emergence in March 2018, it has offered access to data stolen from over 1.5 million compromised computers around the world containing over 80 million account access credentials. This takedown is part of a larger trend of law enforcement cracking down on cybercrime. Just in the past year, there have been 3 big takedowns, including Hydra Market in April 2022 and Breach Forums in March 2023. Hydra, an illicit online marketplace, had been in operation since at least 2015 and experienced a meteoric rise in the years that followed. According to a report jointly published in 2021 by the security firm Flashpoint and blockchain analysis company Chainalysis, Hydra generated over $1.37 billion in annual revenue in 2020, a staggering increase from the mere $9.4 million it made in 2016. The German authorities confirmed that the site boasted 17 million customers and more than 19,000 registered seller accounts, highlighting the scale of its operations. Breach Forums, a popular dark web forum, has been at the center of several major incidents, including this month's breach of DC HealthLink. FBI agents arrested Connor Brian Fitzpatrick of Breach Forums in Peekskill, New York, for 1 count of conspiracy to solicit individuals with the purpose of selling unauthorized access devices, according to an affidavit from an agent. During the arrest, Fitzpatrick allegedly admitted to running Breach Forums and said he used the alias Pom Pom Purin, per the affidavit. Bloomberg first reported on the arrest. The DOJ claims it has dismantled the darknet's largest marketplaces, due to those 3 operations over the last year. Cybercrime is a serious threat to our national security and the safety and security of individuals and businesses around the world. Actors on the Genesis Market would engage in a range of illegal activities, including stealing personal information, financial fraud, and spreading malware. Criminals would obtain bots that would perform attacks. Upon purchasing a bot from Genesis Market, criminals would get access to all the data harvested by it, such as fingerprints, cookies, saved logins and autofill form data, Europol said. This gave criminals access to sensitive data from their victims, such as credit card numbers, social security numbers, and medical records. The cheapest bots sold for less than $1 each, but others fetched hundreds of dollars and provided access to online banking accounts. Europol said that Genesis Market shoppers were provided with a custom browser which would mimic the one of their victim, letting them access victims' accounts, without triggering any of the security measures from the platform the account was on. These security measures include recognizing a different login location, a different browser fingerprint, or a different operating system. A Brian Krebs report described the Genesis offering as a custom web browser plugin which can load a Genesis bot profile so that the browser mimics virtually every important aspect of the victim's device, from screen size and refresh rate to the unique user agent string tied to the victim's web browser. The DOJ said it accessed Genesis Market's user database. The database contained the purchase and activity history on all users, which the feds say helped them uncover the true identities of many users, Krebs wrote. The takedown of Genesis Market and the other marketplaces sends a strong message to cybercriminals that they will be caught and held accountable for their crimes.